Welcome to episode 540 of the show. Today is also going to be another out and about recording, so apologies in advance for any noise that you hear in the background. Cars in the background, generator noise, people walking by, those sorts of things. So, now, straight to the topic for episode 540. And this is a question that I received at the Evolve Africa Business Incubation session, the one that I referred to a couple of podcast episodes ago. I think I mentioned maybe a week or two ago that I was going to have a series of summary recordings just so that people who are part of that business incubation session would be able to listen to this podcast and remember ideas that we spoke about. And also, I thought that some of the questions asked and some of the things that we treated then would also be relevant and interesting to you guys over here on the podcast, regardless of whatever stage you are at with your business or whatever kind of business that you're involved in. And I figured that would kill two birds with one stone, make the podcast recordings as a summary for the Evolve Africa people who are at that business incubation session, and then also that'll be fresh content for you guys over here on the podcast. So the question that we're going to be tackling in episode 540 is we're going to look at the idea of whether business plans can be unachievable, because there was someone who was part of the cohort with Evolve Africa who assumed that her business was not going to take off and that her plans were indeed unachievable. So that's the question that we're going to be tackling today. So, can we say that business plans, plans for starting a business, plans for growing a business, can we say that they are unachievable in the sense that the business is not working at all? Now, I didn't press into much detail because this was a public session, and so I didn't want to ask too many questions that might reveal the true state of the person's business, because I don't like diving into the nitty gritty, except when in person, face to face, so that people can um, go into detail and divulge the inner workings of their businesses without having been judged by other people. So, or rather, without having to feel like they're in a position where they can be critically assessed by other people. So, I didn't go into the nitty gritty, I didn't ask any detailed questions, but I decided to tackle the assumption head on that you can be in some situations that business plans can be unachievable, that the actions that you take are unachievable, and that things are not working at all. And this was the angle that I brought to the conversation. So, in my own opinion, no, you can't say that some plans are unachievable or that, in the sense that business is not going to work at all. So long as you have achieved market validation or product market fit. Um, the terms mean slightly different things. Market validation, that's what I prefer to call it. Product market fit, that is what most of our tech bros and ladies in the tech space like to call it. But in my own opinion, once you have achieved this, once you have achieved either market validation or product market fit, then your business idea is workable. Some things might happen, like macroeconomic factors, like the economy might tank. Maybe there's a coup plot in your country. I mean, for those of us who are in Africa, it happens from time to time. Although in Nigeria, we've gone for close to, I think, 2 decades now, 2.5 decades, and we haven't had a coup. So that's good news. So macroeconomic factors like that, the economy tanking, global pandemic, what else? Something shuts down the international economy. You know, all those grand things, they can happen and ruin your business, and that one really is nobody's fault because we can't see that coming in advance. And the best that we can do is to run our business in the most sustainable way possible, so that when these ups and downs come, especially the macroeconomic ones, we're going to be able to weather the storm. So, where was I? Okay, so long as we have achieved market validation or product market fit, then that should not be a problem. Your business idea is workable and it is feasible and it is achievable and it can work. Now, whether it will work, that will depend on the amount of effort or skill that you apply to making that happen. But if you can achieve market validation, product market fit, then your idea can work. And in that sense, you can't say that the business plan is unachievable, especially if the market has given you the go ahead. Now, what does market validation mean? Market validation is when you receive market signals, basically, when the market tells you that there is room and growth room for growth and scale with this your business idea when the market shows that uh, when the market gives you signs that there is demand for this product or service, or that your service is indeed desirable. So, if the market says that there's a demand for your product or your service and that what you're working on is workable, then there absolutely is no reason why your business idea should not work. Once you receive these signals, then we know that there's room for growth and there's room for scale, and indeed your ideas are achievable and they will work, assuming that you put in the right amount of effort and the right kind of effort, and also provided that other assumptions you're making are realistic. So, let's say, for instance, you're based in Nigeria, you want to go into rice export. I'm not sure what the conditions in the country are right now, because I think there was a time when, um, so let's not say rice export, let's say rice production. Because I think there was a time when the Nigerian government was really down on rice importation, and so a friend of mine, a couple of other people are opening rice mills. So I guess in that kind of environment, it is feasible, it's doable, and if you're able to achieve a certain number of sales, if you're able to gain some traction, then you know that this is an idea that can work, assuming that the macroeconomic conditions remain the same. So, if you do that for 1 year and then next year the government reverses its policies and then allows for rice importation, and generally for the market, it's cheaper to import rice rather than produce rice, then you're in big trouble, because it means that your prices are not going to be sustainable. So your prices are not going to be competitive, and then you might be in a bit of a problem. So these are the kind of macroeconomic things I'm talking about that we have absolutely no control over, because the government's policies over import, export, you have no control over that, except if you're a big boy or a big girl in the space and you're very good at lobbying. But bottom line is, if the market gives you signs that it's okay to produce rice and sell rice locally, then there's absolutely no reason why that business can't work and why it's not going to be achievable, assuming you put in the right amount of effort and the right kind of effort. Now, when we say market validation, how do we know that we have achieved product market fit and that we have market validation? Basically, there are two ways that I proposed this in previous episodes for those of you who've been listening for a long time. But for those of you who are new to the podcast, we're going to tackle those in future episodes. And one of those is in sales. And then the second way of market validation, or showing that you have product market fit, is in traction. So, what does sales mean? What does traction mean? Why one over the other? Do they apply to different product categories? So, we'll go into that in future recordings. But summary for episode 540 is to know that we can't really say any particular business plan or business idea is unachievable, so long as we have achieved market validation and product market fit. If the market gives us a green light to say that this product is in high demand, this service is desirable, then there's room for growth, there's room for scale, and so long as all other assumptions are realistic, there's absolutely no reason why any business idea cannot work. So thanks for listening to episode 540. I'll catch you guys at the next episode, episode 541. And remember that you guys can send me a WhatsApp message or send me a voice note on 080 6466 2140. Again, the number for your WhatsApp or Telegram messages, either text or voice note, is 080 6466 2140. And the country code is +234. That's for Nigeria. The country code +234. Thanks for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next recording.